Well, Drew, the people asked for it incessantly.
Yeah.
It's been long awaited.
All dozen of them.
But it's the rematch.
Is it?
Yeah.
From last week?
Yep. So I said long awaited, oft asked for.
Yes. Yes. The jokes come more clearly into focus.
Yes. I was pleased, and I looked back at the video, and this microphone setup picks us up just fine.
Oh, good.
Good job, microphone. Woohoo!
I'm surprised you wanted to run it back.
I've been tweaking deck lists and deciding what I want as like my stable of decks that I have like kind of ready to go, so I could just look at a list and be like, oh yeah, put that together. Especially since I'm on summer break now, so it's just kind of like sit around and be like, oh, well, do I want to do it this way or do I want to do it this way? And like, I'll build the deck one way and then sit there and stare at it for an hour and then be like, no, I don't like that. And then you go back to something else you had before and you kind of got to bounce back and forth and whatever. So this is the one I've had built. Some slight tweaks, but same essential deck. And I think last week I made a mistake in the approach I took to the matchup.
Could have been.
So I think instead of just having to try to like, no matter what hold up interaction, especially with this deck with like Flame of Venor, I have answers for both of your reducers. So unless you go off on turn 2, I think I need to spend my turn 2 being more proactive, so that as then I start using answers against you on consecutive turns, I'm slowly whittling you away. So.
All right,
you good?
Yep.
Surveil 1.
Oh, didn't do anything on
Go
turn
ahead.
1. It already has a counterspell in hand. I will also not do anything on turn 1.
What?
I'm the worst kind of hypocrite.
You have so many turn 1 plays you make. So I'm going to try to not clear my throat, but I had spicy Thai food for dinner, so
Oh
I've
my
got
God.
that like spicy food,
No
congealing
planning
going
ahead.
on. Yeah.
No planning ahead.
Yeah, I did not.
Hey, what am I doing later? Oh, just hanging out with Drew? I guess I'll eat spicy Thai food. That's fine.
Yeah. I wanted to make my day bright and cheerful.
Well, kind of thought I would do that. That's fine.
Well, or the exact opposite.
That's right.
Dark and dingy. Thundertrap Trainer.
Sure.
Reveal Core Steel Cutter.
Look at that.
Pass. Oh, you did it. You did it, everybody.
Okay.
He's on top of it.
I'm actually kind of surprised we got 19 people that watched our last video.
Maybe it's just one person watched it 19 times.
Well, does that count?
I think so. I think if somebody goes back and watches it a second time, it counts as another view.
I feel like people would be able to monetize their own products pretty easily if that was the case.
I mean, I think to get to the point where you have so many views that it really moves the needle, you have to have a serious setup, and then, at that point it's like, okay,
Yeah.
let's kick in for 1.
Oh.
And then I'll shatter that and draw 2. Because my otter's a wizard. Go ahead. Full grip. So it's like, I know you can go off without a reducer. It's just a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it's a lot tougher.
So I'm feeling like maybe this strategy is a little bit better for me. Yep. Picking for 1. Play cutter pass. Sure. Question is, are there too many or not enough choices?
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what.
Yeah.
Is there a better way?
Mm-hmm.
Can I look at my sideboard at any point in the game?
Yep. Not that he has a wish or anything.
I have 3 wishes.
Yep. 3 wishes in your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it's a little log jammed.
Yeah. Gotta update my sideboard. Like for situations like this, and like in a game 1 where I accidentally draw a wish early, I might want to just be able to like go get like a artifact removal and just get your first.
Oh, okay. Just
card
have
off
some other things. Yeah. I'd imagine like wear tear.
accidentally proactive. Yeah. Let's.
Mm-hmm.
So that was 4.
Yep.
I don't know that this matters. Sure.
Yep.
I am going to choose to flip him with 3.
3.
So 3 plus 2 is 5.
Math checks out.
Okay.
And then you actually.
I'm going to
this is what
put 2 wishes onto the
bottom of your library.
And then
not
I'm
in your
gonna-
graveyard. Bottom of your library.
Oh. And then draw that many cards plus 1. So I'm going to draw 3 cards.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wishes.
What? Who knew those would be there?
I know. Mix them back up. Mix them back up. I don't know when I'll draw them again.
Oh, like next turn or something.
That's probably
Yeah.
the way that it's going to work out.
Yeah. You're like,
There's
oh,
like
this
a-
is back in your hand.
There's like a karmic attraction.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh, I drew a wish for turn, mana mower force, draw a wish. Crap!
Yeah.
Back in this exact same situation. Yep. Of course you'll get it.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
Bolt, Ral, trigger. Swing for 4.
Yep, down to 12.
Go ahead.
No land drop. So you got all land, all spells.
Yep. Mm.
Trigger.
Yeah.
Do we want to say F6 or do we want to...
Yeah, you're good. He's thinking.
I'm one shy.
Yeah.
If I had not played this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're dead next turn.
I'm so fucking stupid.
I got 2 bolts and
Sure.
preordain, so I'll have 4 attacking monks.
Well, I mean, I
next
can
turn,
still,
so-
I can still get your stuff up. Oh no, I see what you're saying. So
Yeah,
I gotta win right now.
Even if you kill these, you're probably very likely dead. Because I could preordain, bolt, make 2 new monks, bolt again. They'll have prowess triggers.
Sorry, my dad.
Fathers.
I know.
They should wait for their day.
Let's see, what can I do here? They should wait for their day. Yeah, this fucks me. Because otherwise, I could wish for Passing Flames on 1, and then I probably win.
Hmm.
So this would be 2. So this is this.
Yeah, all you'd have to do is in one of these effects, you'd have to find a grape shot.
Right.
Yeah. But pretty sure I would just, even if I have no board, I'll just blow through you on the next turn. 'Cause I couldn't find lands, but I could find lightning bolts.
You found enough lands.
Yeah. I think I've got like 22 or something like that. But I know I'm going to bring in my Force and Negations and my graveyard stuff. That's probably it. You run mountains, so my Harbinger doesn't really do anything. You're not really a deck I want to consign. So that's 5. I know in this matchup I want to take out Counterspell.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I mean, like, the max you're paying for any of your spells is 2, and then if, like, your key cards are out, they're less than that, and so, at best, I'm trading even on mana, and I'm going to be on the draw, so those are coming out, and I think I've got an Unholy Heat in here as well that I'll drop. Yep, there we go. Simple swaps. So since you've got Wish now, do you do much sideboarding anymore?
I do less.
Yeah, because I mean,
Well, to be
I
honest,
guess it's probably not full Karn level where like your whole sideboard is Wish targets, but
no. So like right now, there's Passing Flames, Grape Shot in there, and like I have considered going and getting 1 or 2 other cards at certain points, but like there are times where I'm like, oh, if I could go get a ritual right now, that'd be pretty good, or oh, if I could go get a. So I mean, like I might consider like I have 8 draw effects and 8 rituals. If I go down to like 7s of each, I don't know how much velocity I really lose and like how much utility do I potentially gain by having 1 on the sideboard. I don't know that I need that many sideboard slots.
well, it also like the rituals in the board feel weird to me because it's like you've already generated mana to then wish to go get mana.
Sure.
Like, so generally the thing you need the wish for is like, well, once I've gotten to the point where I can do this, I just need something to do with it, and I feel like that's what the wish is for. But like, if you were able to generate the mana to cast wish, that's more mana than a ritual would have cost. So like,
Well, but like in that
know.
game, it was. I mean, it would have won me the game. You know, because I would have been like wish into ritual.
yeah, but you also said that like it was just a sequencing mistake that actually lost the game, so you didn't need the ritual. You only need the ritual when a mistake was made.
But who's the greater threat to me? My opponent or myself?
Depends on the deck they're playing.
It's true. So a couple weeks ago, I went 4-0
Yeah.
at F&M, and like in the last match, I was playing a kid who showed up with a Pioneer deck,
Yeah.
Amalia,
Yeah.
and like he made mention at some point that he was like, yeah, it's a Pioneer deck, and I was like thinking about something like a play I was gonna make, or it was like
You're like,
in
huh?
sideboarding, and I was like, so you're not playing fetches?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Blood Moons are coming in.
Yeah.
Blood Mooned him 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
It really is effective.
Blood Moon do be like that.
I'm still convinced that the change they made to Blood Moon will
Oh, the saga thing?
make it be unbelievably terrible. Alright.
Yep, I'm good. Go ahead.
I made a $50,000 mistake at work this week.
Oof. That's rough.
Yeah. There's a department that's basically like, oh, we fix the things that you guys break.
Oh, okay.
And they called one of those guys in, and he was like, I knew I was in trouble when he was like, oh, I've never seen this before.
You're like, oh no.
I was just my
What
heart
did I
just
do?
sank.
What did I do?
Yeah. So I just been telling my boss's boss, who comes around and talks to everybody on the shift pretty much all day long, trying to keep his finger on like the pulse of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, kid, you gotta stop beating yourself up about it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm 42 years old.
What do you call me, kid?
But he is like, I can just see it in your face. And I was like, well, it's a relatively serious mistake.
At the other jobs I've had, I can't make a mistake like that. That technically costs that much money.
I was actually thinking about that. I was like, the mistakes that I've made.
Yeah. Can't do that. I mean, all I can do is screw up a kid's life, and like that's basically worthless.
Let's be fair. You're not screwing up kids' lives.
But even if I did,
I mean,
they're basically worthless.
I mean, what could you do to effectively mess up a kid's life just by trying to teach them things?
It would just be the only times a situation like that would come up would be just like it's the situation that whatever I did was just the straw that broke the camel's back rather than it actually being the thing. But at that point, it's like, what can you expect me to do when I'm in a situation of,
Which means he can cancel it, but he's deciding whether or not it's worth it.
Yeah, so I'm deciding, do I want to force here or not? So this.
Oh, I'll take a force.
This probably means.
I'll take 2 cards.
That you just don't have a reducer just slam.
Okay.
Or at least probably not a ruby medallion.
Okay.
So is it better just to hold on to stuff for... So, I mean, this is essentially like, if I pitch these 2 cards, it's the same thing because you get 2 cards out of it, so it's an even trade. And is this a signal to me that you're looking for something, or are you just being like, well, hopefully things going to happen, and here we go, sort of thing. So
I don't know.
Based on the hand I've got, I think I just need to slow you down a little bit to make the game mine, so I am going to force it. And then I'll fetch.
I did not have Ruby Medallion in my hand.
Yeah. I figured you just would have been like, blap. Play that. You know, I can't flame next turn because I'm on the draw, so you get at least a turn with it.
That's all I need.
Yeah, I mean, right? Like, very likely sometimes it is all you need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm thinking here is like, okay, I have a more proactive hand, so if I can start pressuring you quickly, then I think maybe just making some plays that slow you down a bit are going to be beneficial. Not that one in this matchup.
It's a great blocker. Teacup Island.
Yep. Cutter, bobble, swing for 2, and then an upkeep, I'll bobble you. So, over to So this is activated abilities, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So bubble draw for turn. Same draw. Prowess trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Prowess trigger, trigger. So this one's seen 2 spells, so this is a 3. These are 2s. Yep, so take 5. I'm going to bobble myself. Yep. Pass. Bubble draw.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the shenanigans or something in this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I am gonna flip him.
All right. This is a 2/2.
Still?
The Core Seal Coder gives it +1/+1. So if you just want to hit me for the other damage.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Free equip. +1/+1 haste trample.
Seems like a totally well thought out, pre-planned equipment with all the built-in negatives of equipments that they've always had over the years.
Yep.
Hey, I like this. Remember how we've talked about in the past having like artifacts needing like colored mana symbols to make them more restrictive, and it has it in both spots, and a line of text that totally fucking negates it.
Of course, I think they figured out it's the only way to make equipment good is to get rid of the equip cost.
Right.
So it's really just like.
But to be fair,
artifacts that have
how many other
thing.
cards would be better if you just got rid of the costs associated with them?
Well, yeah, and equipment specifically is because like you have to pay twice, or this is a 4-mana card. It's why the swords aren't any good anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Is because it's like, well, it's 5 mana to get it into play, and then equip it, and it's like, well, that's just way too much because then you have to already have the other creature too, and all that sort of jazz. I think that's probably not one I want, as sad as I am to see Kitsa go that way.
Stupid honor.
He's a dummy. Alright. Preordain. Prowess trigger. Do it that way. Draw this. Bing. Another little teacup. Another little teacup.
Could I have played this last turn?
Yeah, I guess you could have.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know that it makes a difference, but...
Flame 5 damage there. Trigger, trigger, trigger.
Yeah.
So this will be 5 at you and 2 at Rao. And that's dead.
I know.
Okay. And then it's over your way.
I don't think the solo DRC is going to do it.
No. What else is in your hand?
Just everything I need to win except the
Except
actual
for
fucking
the
gas
thing,
for the
yeah.
car. So,
Yeah.
but that's all right. I mean, I think I saw 2 rituals between the 2 games. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and it's just like, you know, there's 8 of them or whatever. You expect to draw one.
Yeah, right. Do one more for a tiebreaker
Sure.
because you won 2 last week. I did this week. The fans demanded to know.
Did they?
Yes, the shouts were deafening through the internet at me.
So, my dad and every other man in my family have worked in the trades their whole lives.
Yeah.
And I have been the sole exception.
Mm-hmm.
Even my little cousin, who is now almost 30, went to school to do, like, he basically wanted to be a fisherman. Like,
Oh, okay.
his family, my cousins, know Kevin Van Dam, who was a relatively well-known pro fisherman, bass fisherman.
Gotcha.
They were like friends of the family, and so like they'd hang out. And so my cousin Cameron went to MSU and was on their fishing team.
Okay, yeah.
And went all over the Midwest fishing
Yeah.
in these like lakes. Went to Tennessee and Wisconsin and all these cool places. And we were kind of like, what is he going to do, you know, for work or whatever? And so he did a couple things, and then he ended up doing what his dad did, HVAC work.
Yeah.
You know, and which is good because it pays really well, and they pay you while you learn. And it's one of the few professions out there that does that.
Yeah.
You know, so like we'd get together for birthdays and holidays, and they'd all talk shop.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I like Star Wars. You know?
I kind of get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
And so I get this job working at Parker, and like so basically I'm a mechanic, and never wanted to work in this field before. I have very little aptitude for it, I feel. But like I'm getting better, and I've been doing this like for 3 weeks,
Right.
effectively. And my dad, we go grocery shopping for my parents on Sunday mornings now. He goes, I just feel like I can relate to you so much better now. And I'm like, I didn't know that you had trouble relating to me.
Yeah.
But this neat. So I'm glad that he's, you know, he feels.
Yeah, I have to imagine that it's nice that he feels that way, but also a little maybe odd that he feels that way.
Yeah, you know, but then again, like
I didn't know you needed us to work in a similar thing.
Yeah.
You know, like for me to work something similar that you did.
I'm also
for you to
glad
feel
that
like
he
connected.
Yeah, I'm also glad that he feels that way. But like he talks to me a lot more now. Like he like, what's going on at work? How you doing? Like,
Yeah.
and that's cool. You know, I'm kind of enjoying that. You know. So,
Yeah, I feel like it's very similar. You know, I feel like my interests don't overlap with almost anybody in my family. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like my brother likes a lot of the same. You know, my brother likes Star Wars and science fiction and stuff. But then, my dad is into. He's been into motorcycles throughout his life and hunting and things like that. Things my brother likes as well that I don't. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna snare that. So I get kind of the same. I get the feeling being like, oh yeah. We sit down and it's like, yeah, sorry, I don't know about this engine or that thing or whatever this does and whatnot. But
I do think it was kind of interesting. Like I go through like 2 weeks of like classroom-based training.
Okay.
At the job. The last class in all seriousness, probably like 24 classes that we have.
Okay.
Is called What is a Pump?
Okay.
And so the guy starts off the thing. It's a 2-hour class.
Yeah.
And so the guy who's been an engineer for 19 years is the guy teaching it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hi, I'm this name.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Parker. Like, does anybody have any questions before we start?" And I raised my hand and like,
Did you say what is a pump?
no, I said,
Okay.
I said, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be sarcastic here, but why is this class last?
Yeah. Okay.
Because it felt like that would be what you would want to lead with. And so he
Right.
was like, well, we get this question a lot. And the answer is that we want you to be able to identify some of the stuff of what goes on.
Mm-hmm. I'll do this in upkeep, but we'll pass to you. Okay.
We want you to be able to identify some of what's going on before we actually try and like put the whole thing together.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like as somebody who's played against Storm a lot, there are these times sitting there that normally against most decks, if opponents sitting like you're doing, not doing anything, you're like, man, they must either probably don't have a lot of choices,
It's a
or
whole
like
different feeling.
like they're sitting there being like, man, how do I answer this? And now I'm just like, he's just doing math. He's just sitting there and be like, 3, 4, 5, do that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 spells cast, which allows me to do this. How much mana will I have at that point?
It's a lot of math.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a whole different feeling sitting on the other side of Storm when they're sitting there doing nothing compared to most decks where it's like, okay, I've got them in a position, yes. Like, they're up against a wall, they don't have a great answer, and it's like, oh, am I dead? He's thinking, I might be dead. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. There's my guy.
There he is.
There he is. He comes through. So that's what, 2 spells?
Yeah. I don't think I'm winning this turn. I'm just trying to set up
Yeah.
better.
But who knows, just in case. Yep.
I guess I should take. Who knows what'll happen?
Yeah, right. Two. It's kind of like the thing I've learned playing Yawgmoth is like sometimes you don't realize you can win on a turn, and then you start just taking some actions. You're like drawing, you're like,
Cards.
oh, 5, and you're like, huh, okay.
I'm gonna not flip him.
Okay. So put some number on the bottom. 2.
Yep. So 2
Draw.
+ 1,
Draw
3.
Ritual, pass.
Oh, God.
Ritual. I guess you don't. Problem is you don't have any cards, right? Yep. Come
Fucking
on,
slut.
Ral.
Fucking slut.
Come on. Keep it coming, baby. All right.
I really think that's it. All right, your turn.
Draw for turn.
That was real unfortunate.
As much as I want to do other things, I think I just need to take the opportunity to kill Ral here.
It's really gonna set me back, Alan.
Yeah, because like, so I'm gonna use Flame in order to deal 5 damage to him. But like, I could like preordain and see if I then like preordain and find a bolt in my top 6, and then like I'll have put a bunch of prowess triggers on the monk, triggered the Corey Steel Cutter again. But if I don't, the Ral might just really be bad for me.
I dislike that your deck interacts with mine
Yeah,
on both the stack and the battlefield.
but it's why I like stuff like this. Let's be a swing for 3.
12.
Pass.
don't know that there's a card that I can draw that gets me out of it. That's probably not it.
Play one of those mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have you dead next turn, so
No. You have another Flame of Anor?
maybe.
It's a real possibility.
It's just real possible that I do, yes. And some 1-mana blue cards.
Okay, so I've got Passing Flames in the yard. What do I got to do to get access? This is even in a very good yard.
Yeah, you've got. I mean, I guess now that you've got 1 Reckless Impulse, it's like.
I have a little mana. I have a little searching. I guess I have this.
Yeah. But not enough mana to do all of those searching things without the reducer. So kind of an interesting spot for sure. I'm going to lead with a Preordain and trigger Prowess on the Monk. I think we're just going to bottom both of those. Draw that. Play this tapped land because that's fun. Soul Guide Lantern, trigger.
The computer's running out of batteries.
Oh, I just got a notification. It should be plugged in. So Soul Guide trigger is going to target the Past in Flames. This is a swing for 5.
How is this swinging?
So this is the new one. This is the old one. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I forgot that I even had this card.
All right. Prowess.
Well, I drew a Manamorphose. There was a chance.
Is that the card you forgot?
Yeah, I forgot
Oh,
that
okay.
I hadn't seen
Okay.
it until just then.
Well, I guess that's
Well, as well as I ran last time.
yeah, right. If you took the average of all those games, but all right, next week, not a rematch.
No, you're gonna change something.
Well, we just won't put up the same video 3 weeks in a row.
All right.